many years now I've been complaining about Rapidly as a team member of the Savage Speeders in Marbula 1, and finally my complaints have been honored and heard, and Rapidly is not a part of this year's Savage Speeder Marbula 1 team. Hello everybody, welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide podcast. My name is Brendan and I'm very happy today.
And I'm Commander Wolf, and I'm also pretty excited.
Are you as excited as I am about Rapidly's discarding? Discarding? Is that the word?
I'm not as excited as
Trashing?
you, but I am still pretty excited for the speeders.
Dude, I am so happy that happened. I always thought that our words here would just fall on empty ears, or fall on no ears, and to see something that we've actually been saying. I know they don't listen to this show, but to see something that we've been saying actually occur in the world, it's just so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't tell you how many episodes have been devoted in part to me saying how dumb it is that Rapidly has not been removed from Marbula 1 and how much better the Savage Speeders could do. And we'll see if they actually do better, so I could be proved wrong this year. But to actually see it happen, I know they changed a lot of teams this year, but to see it happen is so wonderful. So I'm very excited to see how the Savage Speeders do this year. My prediction is that they're going to do well. I think they will do well this year. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about all that. My life's been busy, so everything's been kind of too much going on. Life and college and finals and then moving home and everything. Nothing too interesting there to mention besides busy. I will say, though, I got this new broadcasting job for this... Okay, so there's this company called Avantage Entertainment, and they're piloting this new TV show where Japanese celebrities play Baccarat, which is a casino game. It's look it up. It's
I think
simple.
I've heard of it.
And it's a different form of it so that it's more entertaining for TV. And so these really famous Japanese people are sitting there playing this game, right? And I auditioned to comment over those matches, and they actually liked me and they gave me the job. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'll be famous in Japan, maybe, I guess. But so that's new for me. Otherwise, a lot going on in my life, but it's just, how could I share it here all on the Marble podcast? We have to yell about some marbles. But I saw Stint on the street. Remember? Remember Stint mentioned that? I just was walking I was walking to my friend's place, and he was walking the other way, and dude, I swear to God, this is so hilarious. He just calls at me across the street. So it's one of those intersections, and he's on one end of the sidewalk, I'm on one corner of the sidewalk by where the crosswalks converge, and I'm on the other side diagonally across the intersection, and he's like, Marble! And I'm like, what is happening right now? And I turn and I see him, and I was like, what is going on? And he's like, dude, I haven't seen you in a minute. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Stint. And people are all walking in all the directions, and no one's they're all hearing this, I guess. And I'm just like, dude, to hear my name Marble yelled out in public is so funny. And
That's so funny.
It was such a moment. And I was like, dude, just come over and say hi or text me. What was all that? So that's what's up, Saddlebag? That was really funny. Otherwise, things have been dim. I'll say one word about the Sand Rally B League because we won't dwell on it now that we're in Marbula 1 before I leave things to Waff and the news. But it was good. I liked the racing. I think it was fun. I am kind of upset with Big Pearl, who came out and won and DNF 3 times, so that was tough to see.
Mm-hmm.
Who moved on from that was really notable? I think Dragon's Egg moved on.
Sure, it was the top 8?
Top four. So not many.
Only
Actually. Maybe not Dragon's Egg. I forget who won. I actually forget who won that. I just remember I wanted Big Pearl to do well because I like Big Pearl, and Big Pearl didn't do very well. I think Pollo Loco wasn't in that. El Capitan did all right. I actually don't remember the 4 that moved on. I know someone's gonna chat me on that. There is auto promo. Greg literally said the top 4 are moving on. To he said that at the end of the video.
Did he? I don't remember him saying that.
I actually do remember it very clearly.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay,
There's they mixed information. That's right.
Okay, Greg. But
great cohesion there at JMR.
Deep Ocean. I remember Deep Ocean, but Deep Ocean, like, it doesn't stand out amongst the pack usually. It has trouble in the mid-pack, so, I mean, like, it's about emerging from that. It's hard to emerge from that because it's easy to race with all the marbles around your skill, but it's hard to, like, you know, get out of that pack, so I think Deep Ocean's going to be stuck there a while. Otherwise, I was just disappointed in Big Pearl. Otherwise, nothing really to say. I think the tracks were fine. I think it was like the same ones basically, so I was okay with them.
This is our official showdown segment of the show.
Yeah, say 2 sentences and send us to the news. Well.
Oh, well, okay. I guess I like the racing was pretty cool. There's a lot of marbles who jumped over the big hill at the start. Like, I love that. Really aggressive racing. Really awesome job from everyone. It was a lot of fun to watch, honestly. I think Greg mentioned that, like, either one or all the races were actually shorter than the typical race, like half. I could be wrong about that, but it sounded like from what Greg said, like he said they were shorter. They didn't feel shorter, honestly. But like
they were shorter.
They were really fun. I'm trying like who was like okay, so who was like I know there's like relegation in Showdown. Like, was it only the bottom 4 who stay in Showdown and all the rest of them get to go up? I couldn't remember.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
I'm trying to remember who it was who won it? Was it H2 Blue? I think it was H2 Blue, right?
Yeah, El Capitan actually won.
Oh no, sorry, El Capitan, yeah. Right? The classic El Capitan.
And I like El Capitan. Like, I think he's a
El
classic.
Capitan is a great marble. Love it. Been there since the beginning, as far as I can remember.
Yeah. So
I guess the only thing I'll say, I guess, is like it does like there have been some fans who like talk about like how they weren't very happy with how it was under promoted and how they started promoting M1 in like near the beginning or the middle of the Marble Rally season. Yeah, that's very fair. I agree. It sucks that Marble Rally isn't given the attention that it deserves, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really all you have to say for the intro. I mean, I don't want to dwell too much on Marble Rally. We have a lot to talk about. I'm already kind of thinking more towards our team changes here with Marbula 1 that we're going to get into. So with that being said, let's just throw us to the news. After the news, we're discussing team changes. We're discussing the race. A lot to talk about there. So let's get into it and see after.
Marble Sports fans! I'm Commander Wolf, here with the Marble Sports Worldwide News. We've got some big stuff to go over, so let's get right to it, shall we? First up, we have the Marble Rally Season 6 Showdown. The 16 marbles who didn't make it for the main season competed in 4 races to see who was the best of the group and to potentially have an effect on the qualifiers for the next season. By the end, El Capitan came in first, followed by Comet in second and H2 Blue in third. Next up, we have the premiere of Marbula 1 Season 4, with GP1, the Razway. The marbles did incredible this race, with plenty of drafting and outmaneuvering their opponents to cut them off. At the end of the race, Cloudy from the Hazers came in first, followed by Speedy from the Savage Speeders in second, and Momo from Team Momo in third. This season's off to a fantastic start, and we can't wait to see more. And finally, we have the end of Marble Madness 2023. It was quite a close call, but in the end, Avalanche came out in first over Octopus. This tournament was full of plenty of intense matches, so congratulations to Avalanche for making it all the way to the end. Well, that's all for the news. Thank you for listening. I'm Commander Wolf. You are the best fans in the world. Let's kick it on back with the podcast.
The news is over, and we are happy to welcome a guest to the show finally. I feel like it's been quite a while since we've had a guest. Well, how long has it been since we've had a guest?
It's been a few. It's been a few episodes now, I would say.
Who's my last
like
guest?
We tried to get some guests, but something like either left or they couldn't make the day. Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I'm glad that we have a guest today. His name is Jack's Marble Runs. I think his name is just Jack, though, and he emailed in recently, and he was interested in guesting with the Marbula 1 season coming up. So, Jack, welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide podcast.
Hey, it's great to be here, and it's an honor. Excited.
Dude, we are happy to have you here. Good to hear what insight you have today. We always ask one question to every first-time guest. For some reason, we still do this. And so, Waf, let's ask it together because we feel like we have to say it in sync. It's so stupid. Let's do it. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. How
did you get... Wait, I'm going to count down.
I can't do it.
Oh my gosh.
It's stupid. All right.
Oh, actually, what if I did the snap... Wait, what if I did my snap trick?
No, but okay, let's just try it. I don't know. It's going to be dumb. Get ready, Jack.
3, 2, 1. How did you get into Marble Sports?
Wait, what? That wasn't bad.
I think that worked.
That went well.
That was
I think
good.
it worked.
Okay. Dude, I actually want a clip of that because that was pretty solid.
That was like the best.
Wait, people
I think that was the
stream,
most in sync we've ever been.
did that hold up pretty synced?
Like, I didn't hear it on my end, but I know there's a delay for us. But I think once it's synced up, it's going to sound perfect.
Yeah, I actually like that.
Sounded really good.
So, Jack, answer the question.
So, I got into marble sports kind of like the way I think a lot of other people did, like by accident, kind of, during the pandemic. It was just surfing YouTube, and then I saw in my autoplay marble sports, and I'm like, what the heck is this thing? So I click on it, and I'm blown away because at the start, I'm thinking to myself, why is this a thing? And when I watch for, say, another 5 minutes, I am absolutely just, it's so addictive. After the first 5 minutes, I can't stop watching it, and I watched like the entire tournament in just that one day, and I'm thinking, I want to watch more. So I went to the channel and I saw everything having to do with the marbles, and I am obsessed with them now, like many other people. So yeah, completely by accident, I got into marble sports during the height of the pandemic. No, not the height, probably around December 2020.
Oh, okay. So before the comet.
Wait, did I say December 2020? I'm sorry, December 2021.
Oh, so after the comet thing, which was summer of 2020, I think. No, summer of 2021. Sorry. Dude, awesome, dude. I mean, that's people's first initial reactions to be like, dude, what is happening on the screen right now? And people are still trying to like tune their brains into it, but some people attached very quickly, like you and myself, of course, and the WAF man, and the other people around. So awesome to hear that. And now you're here on the show, episode 153, 4 years about, for you, I guess it'd be December 21, so over 2 years after you got into it, about to talk about season 4 of Marbula 1 and dive deep into roster changes and racing strategies. I mean, did you ever think that this would happen?
At the time of when I first got into marble racing, I would have never thought that I'd be so into it, but also that I'd be able to be here on this podcast, which is just awesome. So, yeah.
Dude, I'm excited
that's so cool
to have you on. So, that being said, let's dive into our first topic today, and that's going to be the roster changes. And I think it's important we understand these because we have to wonder how good a decision these are. In role play, these decisions have to be attributed directly to the coaches. Obviously. Directly to the coaches. Because in role play, it's the coaches who'd make this decision. Obviously, out of role play, it's just JMR being like, or whatever. But in role play, we have to attribute, again, all this to the coach's strategy, the coach's evaluation of the entire team, right, that they have at their disposal, which are 5 players. The reserves have become more fiery of late. And so they get to evaluate all of them. They have the off season. They have other events that they can see these marbles perform. And they get to decide who is my best two. Who is my most likely chance to perform in Marbula 1? Or in some respects, I don't really know who my best chances are. So who should I put out there and get a read on? So that's kind of the question we're asking ourselves. And so we're going to go through this wonderful post that someone made, and there's a lot of text here. If you're watching on the Chrome, you can kind of read it, I guess. But we're just going to look at these diagrams that show their teams and their past 3 seasons of placement. And some teams stayed intact, some replaced one, one team replaced all. So we'll kind of see if we agree with that and why, so on and so forth. And I have the wiki pages up for seasons 2 and 3, which are more relevant. So I might look, if I want to look directly at numbers, directly at scores per race, which will be important for Yellow Eye, then we'll jump over there. So, I think we're just going to kind of round table this, tune in when you have a thought, and we'll just roll through it, and then we'll talk about the Razway and read some emails. MSWpodcast@gmail.com. You can email there if you have anything to say. We're going to read them. So that's a call to action for you guys, especially with Marbula 1 on the table right now. We want to hear from you guys and your opinions on these new roster changes. Who do you think is going to be strong this season? I think Savage Speeders are going to be strong this season, So who do you guys think will be strong this season? And so I encourage you, MSWpodcast@gmail.com. Thank you. Okay, so first team on the board. These are the teams intact, the teams that changed nothing. And I know you might ask why we have to talk about them, but we should think about why they changed nothing. And if it was a good idea for them to change nothing. Because if the Savage Speeders were under the teams intact banner, you can imagine what I'd be saying. You have 4 full episodes, I count them, to hear what I'd have to say about that. But we have our Rangers first. Their overall, of course, they won last season, which was exciting. And I think I'm not going to say too much besides the point that if you win last season, then don't change anything.
Don't change anything.
That's what I think. If anyone has points, Jack, say them or Waff, but that's just straight out how I feel about it.
No, that's fair. I guess the only instance, hey, Rapidly didn't do so good season 2, but how could we have known at the time, Yeah,
exactly. So we didn't have as much of a basis then, but they came out, they got first place overall in season 3. That shows that the team's working together. Obviously, the individual finishes, both good for both marbles. 7th and 2nd are great. Clementon was pretty bad starting out season 1, but obviously has improved. Orangin has been steady except for season 2. So overall, I think these marbles deserve their places, right?
Yeah, season 2 wasn't exactly the best for the Rangers anyway. So
yeah, and it's
that's also true.
I think at that time you could have argued a switch, but now that we have the data of season 3, it's okay, just leave it the same. And we saw who raced in the first race, whichever Ranger marble that was, had a very nice race. Who was that? Orangin? No, I want to say Clementon, actually.
Which one?
I want to say Clementon for today's race.
Today's race?
Oh,
it was Orangin who's racing.
Yeah, no, okay. So, and so, already coming out as strong as they were out of season 3, so holds up pretty well. All right, Cobalts. I feel I look at the Cobalts and see a lot of empty space in their diagram. That just shows me we have a lack of information.
It's because they've only competed, I think, in, 2 seasons or 1?
Yeah, and they did well in season 3, so don't fix that right now. You don't have a lot of data. All right, I'll just move on. Balls of Chaos. I heard you say nothing, so.
What else do I even say?
Cobalts,
they did good, so of course they're not going to change.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, Brendan.
Exactly. I didn't want. I'm assuming if you don't talk for a second, I'm gonna move on. All right, Balls of Chaos. This is hard. Any thoughts? They didn't change anybody.
Didn't they? They did pretty good from what I remember last season.
They did 4th. They got 4th.
So why change anything? As you just said, if you did good, why change?
Yeah, it's just the inconsistency of their team. Tumult has never done well. Clutter has been good, but then also, I guess kind of Clutter has a similar layout than the Rangers do in their members. good, bad, good. So I guess like Clutter has a pretty good argument. But I just feel like Clutter so often ends up in last place, or Tumult so often just ends up as a last place racer in Marbula 1. So it's like, I don't know. I think Tumult needed to switch out after a 17th and a 24th, but I really don't know who would you put in instead.
I mean, I can't. Like, it's kind of like the rapidly situation, right? Where no one else has raced, so you don't really know how they would do here.
Exactly, and like you're looking at a team that's not as all around wonderful as a Savage Speeders, so there's less of an argument for that. So I think.
I mean, they are chaotic.
Yeah, and that's how they.
Yeah,
race
that is their
too.
whole MO.
I mean, chaotic puts you in first sometimes, and like 7 seconds behind the pack other times, I guess.
I feel like I'm looking at the season 1, and they got like no points the first time, then a point, then a gold, 3 no points, then 2 10 points. So
really, that's all over the place.
Yeah.
Can you tell me who, now that you're looking at that, who raced instead of Tumult in season 1? Because Tumult did not race in season 1.
here,
Anarchy, thank you, Yak.
yeah, it's fine.
Who?
They had
Anarchy.
Yeah, it was Anarchy. Yeah,
Anarchy. How did Anarchy do? Where are they individually? I didn't pull up season 1.
Anarchy got 26th out of 32.
So I guess that's fine. Not very good, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually don't have anything on this. I think if I were the coach, I think the best way to approach some of these is to say, if I were to coach. If I were to coach, I'm taking Tumul out and trying the remaining non-reserve Balls of Chaos Marble.
Why non-reserve?
I don't know. Maybe you could try the reserve, but I'm trying a remaining Balls of Chaos Marble instead of Tumult, because Anarchy did very bad. Tumult did not have good numbers the last 2 seasons. Clutter is just, again, chaotically all over the place, but maybe there's another Marble in the Balls of Chaos who could perform better. But, maybe, I don't know. I actually don't understand the Balls. Like, they're the highest enigma in Marble Sports. I don't understand them. So, we'll leave that. Green Ducks. They're very consistently finishing team. I mean, we have 6th, 3rd, 6th. You can't really argue with that. I mean, they're not pulling home the best numbers. I mean, Billy had an ass season last season. A lot of but they're finishing within. I mean, remember, when we're talking about out of 40 an individual, if you're in that top 15, that's a strong finish. And that's basically every time for Mallard and Billy collectively, except for last season. And last season was a harder season, I'd say. So I would put Mallard and Billy, like, I would say intact, definitely a strong intact argument. I don't think you should make any changes.
I mean, they are siblings, like they work well together, but like last season, yes, was terrible, but at least the start of it, the first, I think, 6 races, but then after the mid-season break, they just did so well together. So I think they work together well. And yes, I am a Green Ducks fan and maybe biased, but
Oh yeah, the shirt. I can see the
But
shirt.
as a
Nice.
Green Ducks fan,
Yeah.
and so you know the other members of the Green Ducks maybe a little better, you think about the Green Ducks. Do any other racers come to your mind that are like, okay, maybe that one might be good though?
I feel like I put Quacky in because we've seen Ducky, I think, in sand events, and he never really seems to get too high up. He normally is around lower middle pack.
Mm-hmm.
So Quacky has been doing. Did I say Quacky?
You should say
Yeah, Quacky.
Yeah. So I think Quacky would do pretty well. If anything, I think Mallard is doing great. He's kind of not carrying the team, but he's solid. Billy, I think, would be the one if you want to switch Quacky in. That's where he would go. Billy, I think, is he the only racer to get 3 golds in 3 different seasons, right?
Quacky?
That does sound familiar.
No, Billy. I
Oh,
think
Billy.
Greg said that.
That's really good.
So-
I mean, Billy's a strong racer. Billy is
Yeah,
arguably
he is.
one of your strongest racers, top 5 in Marbula. Not Billy, sorry, Mallard. Wait, Billy got a gold medal? Billy got a gold
Billy
medal
got
every
3.
season? I thought Mallard did.
3
Every
gold
season.
Every season. That's why he's so
Then what
inconsistent,
happened?
is what I'm saying.
What happened with these numbers? I think Mallard's a much stronger racer.
Yeah, so if you want to replace Quacky and you I think you should take Billy out. Because yes, Billy does have these occasional spurts that are impressive and carry the team, but it's too much of a liability, especially if you're trying to go for the championship. So
That's fair, yeah.
But then
Mallard,
again,
though, I
like you
think,
said,
is a staple.
we have to. Yeah, we have to check. He's the captain too.
And like, yeah, you got to do things to evaluate everybody. Like, I think, and I see what Yak said here. So Yak in the live chat, as wonderful as he is, right? He's like, Disarray and Snarl, these are the other two balls of Chaos Marbles, would not do good in M1 LOL because they're barely good in ML. And I wonder how much he listens to the show. So if you want to talk about Rapid League for a second.
I knew that.
You knew this is coming. You know exactly what I'm going to say right now. Rapid League is one of the best. Marbula 1. I'm not Marble League, sorry. Rapid League is one of the best Marble League performing marbles. And you see how he does in Marbula 1. They do not correlate. In fact, they correlate in reverse. The worse a marble does in Marble League, the more I want to throw them on the marble drum track. The
Or they
more I
get
want to
kicked
just
out.
spurt them out into the elevator. In fact, literally, your tryout for Marbula 1 should be low placement in Marble League. Your validation for being able to race in Marbula 1 should be absolutely sucking at high jump. Absolutely shitting the bed at balancing. That's the validation. That is the qualifications for you to be in Marbula 1. I don't want to talk about Mary. I'm skipping. But do you see? Listen, that was over exaggerated. But the point is, they don't correlate in that equal way most of the time. I don't think Speedy's kind of a weird. Speedy's kind of good at everything, but it's more likely a Marble's good at everything than bad at everything. So I would say you might want to throw Snarl in there. Disarray might just be in disarray out there on the track. So, but Snarl might be nice.
Gosh.
Let's move on. Green Ducks, thanks for the insight. Momo, Waff, I'm just gonna let you talk about it.
Momo. Oh man, like it's a solid choice. Mimo has always been good. First reserve, best reserve. Like they've been doing phenomenal like, on the team. They're the best of the team, I'd say. And Momo like has been very consistent. They've always kind of the both members have kind of finished middle of the pack, but as you've seen over the years, they kind of slowly been building higher and higher. So like, I wouldn't have been opposed to Momo being swapped with someone else. As we saw today, Momo being in was a very good choice so far. So honestly, I think like unless there's like a big drop off for one of the members, I think they should just keep the team as it is because they've just steadily been improving with each year.
Yeah, I mean, Momo's one of those teams where I like the stable roster idea, right? Which is said here in the text.
Mm-hmm.
It's just they seem like a team that you don't want to dismember it very often, even if they're not doing too well, because Momo has a tendency to just break apart like if you start bending a brittle cookie, the whole thing will just crack into nothing, you know?
I think you're bringing back bad memories to Waff.
That's not cool, Brendan. How dare you?
Sorry, yeah, that's
So
sorry,
insensitive.
Momo. I'm very offensive and insensitive. But the point is like they just tend to crack and chip. Sorry. Okay, no, but like I think they fall apart if you change too much. I think they're a team where because of their longevity in Marble League, you want to leave them alone and let them cook. You want to let them cook. And if they do well, they do well. And if they don't, then just Waff is sad. That's the only person that's sad. So it's fine.
Stith will be sad too. And Momoa Kai.
Yeah, there's other people like Momo, and I like Momo, but like that's the point is I think that they're fine as they are, even though Momo didn't do very well last year.
Did they get bronze in the Marble League? It says, oh wait, that's the Showdown. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No. Like when did this happen?
near.
How did I miss the Momo podium?
Yeah, if there was a Momo podium, Waff would have started his own show.
I wouldn't go that far.
I don't know.
What if it was a Momo win?
Sometimes I feel like people like
Championship.
Super Yak just say what they said. Was just going back to the chaos thing, the balls of chaos thing. Sometimes I feel like people like Yak just say that just to hear me then yell what they know I'm gonna yell.
People know what they want, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Shining
people
Swarm.
what
I'm
they
gonna
want.
let Jack take this. This is a very interesting one. We have a lot of dash. So what do you think, Jack?
Well,
Shining Swarm is in tag.
Swarm. Well, it's weird because they haven't. I'm very confused about these because do they exist? Do they not exist? And they won a podium last year in the Marble League. Yeah, two they won silver in the Marble League, which, like you said, doesn't always correlate well to Marbula 1, but
right.
It's still a little bit too early, I'd say, to understand where they're coming from, because Season 3, they get 8th, middle of the pack, kind of. How did they do this first race? Does anybody know?
I don't actually remember, which means probably not very well. I think the middle of the pack or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't.
Middle of the pack.
I just look at this 11th and 21st, and it's like it's hard to make a case.
Thank you,
either
Yak.
way. Yeah, middle of the pack, exactly. Why am I right when
so I don't. I just don't understand them right now. I don't have enough knowledge to really put them somewhere, but I honestly think they're going up. I don't.
Okay.
If I had to make a guess, I think their legacy of failure is over. If it ever was failure, if they even were relevant enough to count at that. But now there's something. They are something now. Have they been in the league since 2016?
Yeah, they just kind of haven't done that much competing, which is weird.
Mm-hmm. They've been in the Showdown, I think, for lots of the time. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. They, like this thing said, they are the run-up finished in Marble League. They flew under the radar with a solid Marbula 1 debut season, which is true. So, I mean, what can I say? I think they're going to go up, but you still have to take enough time to think about it and see what's going to happen this season in particular.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think you kind of got to let it be. And Shining Swarm doesn't have enough recent data, you know? You can't do anything with them right now. I'm just going to move on. Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts are weird. Bolt is another example of inconsistent. But then again, I mean, we're talking about, like, Season 3 and 2, these are top 20 finishes for individuals. So those aren't bad. Those are still top half finishes. But like then you look at Season 3, I mean, the 13th overall, that's not good. But that's because Thunder kind of brought them down. 6th and 8th in Season 1 and 2. I mean, who was wrong with Bolt in Season 2 here? I mean, let me scroll. Shock, but then Shock finished 27th. Bolt just carried them. So I think the switch was valid for them in Season 3. But I think, again, when you make a switch, let me say this. When you make a switch, it's probably a good idea for you to give a Marble 2 seasons. So I think Thunder, this should be his chopping season. If he finishes below 25th this season, you should probably, try another Marble in there. You have 5 marbles to work with per team. Don't be afraid to use them. Bolt has proved that he's around for at least a while. So let Thunder kind of do his thing this year, see if he learns, and then kind of reevaluate at the end. I'm taking that silence to mean that there's no other thoughts. So, one switch returnees. And here we go. Get ready here. Crazy Cat's
This
Eyes.
is the big one. Oh, okay. All right.
Look at the numbers. I mean, look, these are the best numbers we've seen on the screen. Are they not?
You can't
First
argue
in
with
Season 2, second in Season 3. I mean, Red Eye just is insane, but 3rd and 13th for Yellow Eye. I mean, those are still the best numbers we're seeing.
Yeah.
I mean, look at these intact teams. Even the Rangers the last 2 seasons are worse than 3rd and 13th. Both of them.
We can basically count Season 3 to be, like, basically kind of sort of nearly a win. Like, 2nd and 1st, not a big difference.
No difference. I'm just gonna say no difference and just gloss over the difference. I'm glossing over it. I mean, how do you look at these numbers and replace a marble? But you don't look at these numbers. These numbers here. It's just like Balls. Like, how do you look at these numbers for Balls of Chaos and replace nobody? But you go here and you replace Yellow Eye. Yellow Eye, for a time, and I remember these episodes, it was clear and valid and data supporting to say the sentence, I believe Yellow Eye, not Red Eye, is the best racer in Marbula 1. And that was up until about the end of Season 2.
Yeah. It was pretty even for a while.
What?
It was the
Yellow Eye was in the lead
you
for a
couldn't
while.
really tell.
I mean,
I don't know what they are doing with putting Blue Eye in. Like, I'm not sure what his qualifications are exactly. Like, well, I don't know why they would have taken Yellow Eye out. I think he was 13th and 3rd. That's good, but I don't, like, you can get better, but really, that's very risky to put an entirely new racer into it, like, if you want to improve something that good.
Yeah, no, agreed. Like, I remember Blue Eye doing maybe good in like some sort of like like a downhill race on Marbula 1 track and like the but like ultimately Blue Eye's main strength is elemental racing. They do good on sand, on snow, in ice, underwater. They're the best member when it comes to elemental specifically. But the better choice easily is Green Eye. Green Eye is their all-arounder. They're not as good as Red Eye on the track or as good as Blue Eye on the elements, but they are good consistently on both of them. So like on a track like a raceway, for instance, where it has both M1 and sand, they would do amazing because they would not really have a weakness there. They're pretty good at both of those things. Why not put Green Eye? Why that's easily the better choice. Why Blue?
You know what's even a better choice than Green Eye?
The other one.
No, Yellow Eye. Yellow Eye is the better choice than Green Eye. That's what I can't
I didn't
get
know where
over.
you're going with that.
like what? Okay, and this guy, whoever wrote this post, congratulations. I don't see your name. Actually, let me shout you out.
It's like
Who wrote this
5,000
post?
words.
Savage Speeders / Ghost. No, Lithium Nard, who likes Savage Speeders and Ghost Plasma. Well, Lithium Nard. I appreciate this very lukewarm kind of approach to this controversy. I don't like what you're saying. That's basically what I'm gonna say. You're only able to say that Yellow Eye's Season 3 performance, and as you say, left much on the bone, because you're comparing it to their Season 2 performances, and you're comparing it to Red Eye. Guess how many other singular marbles are going to get first place individually in Marbula 1 2 years in a row? No. I don't think any other marbles have done that. And I'm telling you, probably no others are ever going to do that, if not one in like a decade. Like that is an impossible standard. It's not just like you say, oh, the CCE has high standards. A dude says that in chat. So the high standards justifies the switch. No, those are impossible standards. Those are illogical standards. Your standards can never be get first place every season because that is impossible. There's too much luck base in marble racing, even if it was in role play, to call out and say, I need you to get first place both seasons. And that's giving no credit to the other teams. Sorry, go ahead.
What I see from this is I see Yellow Eye and Billy being really similar with the good performances and the bad ones. Yet Billy's not off because the difference is that they don't have... I hate to say it, but the Green Ducks don't have a racer that's as good as Red Eye. And so Billy is really decent. They're taking Yellow Eye for granted. Like, it's difficult to find a marble that's still able to do that. Like, if I look at Marble 1 Season 3, Yellow Eye got 6th, then 17th, then 4th, then 2nd, then 19th, and 16th. So, and then 13th. And then 2nd. Oh no, then 13th, no 2nd. That's their overall placement. So, it's like Billy. They either go for the win, or they're somewhere that's in a complete place of irrelevance. So, but you shouldn't take them off just for that. I mean, like I said, Billy's on, because, and Yellow Eye should, I'm rambling on and on here, but I hope I've
no, you're making a point. You're making a comparison that makes sense. The problem is then you're comparing the wrong types of numbers. When you look at the Green Duck situation, is like you can justify their up and down because they're used to their base start. Their initial start is with numbers like that. You know, they're used to those types of numbers. So when they get a 6th overall, they're like, yes, a 6th overall. But they keeping a logic and they have a realism. Crazy Cat's Eyes, they're not keeping a realism if they're saying things like, oh, we need something in the top 3 in order for you to be validated to stay in our team, because that's just not possible. It's not literally possible for that to happen over the course of many years of Marbula 1. I mean, Red Eye is a distinct racer. Yeah, too high expectations. And when your expectations are too high, you make decisions that can hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, no,
just
for
like
sure.
Just like this analogy I'm gonna pull on, but just like if your expectations are too, if you're like trying to date somebody, right, and your expectations are too high of what the other person should be, if they stay too high and they never decrease, and if they never accept mistakes, and if they never accept imperfections, then eventually you end up dating nobody at all. The Crazy Cat's Eyes are on track to have no racers at all. They're on track to just not race anybody because they're not good enough. And then what's the result? You don't race.
The one thing I do want to bring is on multiple episodes of the year, you talked about how the Savage Speeders also have a high standard of themselves. I'm not talking about the Rapidly situation makes sense for replacing because Rapidly was not just
Rapidly's worse than Yellow Eye.
Their standard for themselves, at least in Marbula 1, I can kind of understand because they've had 2 seasons of Red Eye doing amazing. It is just 2 seasons. Maybe it's too early for them to have such a high standard for themselves. We've also said in the past that the most recent season is the most relevant because it's their most accurate, most recent representation of a marble skill. So that could indicate that maybe Yellow Eye is going downhill, but they were still in the top half out of 40 marbles.
No, and top 15 is hard to enter into because 40 is a lot. So if you're working in top 15, Yellow Eye was 13. I mean, that's still good. And if you look at their numbers, that's why I have their specific numbers up, right? Red Eye obviously it's just he's steroids or something. But I mean, Yellow Eye here still has a first place. I think 20. No, 20 is not first place, right? 20. What is 20?
I think 20 is first place. Or second place. Second place. Or no, wait, it was 20, 22, 25. So yeah, so it's third place then.
Wait, why is Yellow Eye's 20 here, not
fastest lap maybe.
Gold for bronze? Wait, what?
It might be fastest lap.
3 points in qualifying points.
Oh yeah, qualifying. I forgot.
Whatever it is, I don't think that really matters that much. But I mean, you're talking he put up big amount of points here. Anything in this range is good. I mean, I know he had 2 zeros. I mean, the 2 is. I'm more worried about the 2 than the zeros, because it's kind of like the same strategy I take when I talk about San Marble Rally. When you have a 0 or a DNF or something that's really bad, it's usually for a different reason than you're just plain slow. You know, you're not. It's not just because you're plain slow. 2 is more like you're slow. But then even Red Eye, if you want to talk about the 2 comparison, you can just throw it at the 4. With Red Eye, and then those will kind of cancel each other out. So it's really, you're dealing with still a good season for Yellow Eye, but there's these 2 zeros. And so I think that if you look at the 2 zeros, I mean, there's probably just mistakes in early on, or just kind of faultiness and racing choices, and then I feel like that's something you should be able to get over. I mean, the previous season, Yellow Eye carried you to victory almost, and then was just finished 3rd place by the end of the season. Right? I mean, literally the 2 marbles battling for anything. I mean, the Crazy Cats were way ahead, and it was just Yellow Eye versus Red Eye for individual. I mean, that was really the whole deal, right? And then this season, we still had some good performances from Yellow Eye this 3rd season, except he just had these 2 kind of zeros. I mean, that's something to talk through. That's something to analyze in the room, in the Yellow Eye lounge by the Marbula 1, wherever Yellow Eye analyzes races, analyze that, wonder what happened, and come back and work with that. I mean, 13th is not bad. I think it's really, really dumb because you put Blue Eye in there. I mean, we see what happens day 1. He comes out. I mean, this was an awful race for Blue Eye. Very slow, not knowing what he's doing out there because he has no experience. I mean, the only reason I'm advocating for switching is when it's clear that over many years, a marble really doesn't have the skill for it. Mm-hmm. But Yellow Eye has proved he has the skill for it. He had 3rd place. And so he has 2 years experience too.
And the thing is, when Red and Yellow Eye, when they start out in the back, you can count on them to kind of make their way back up. But Blue Eye didn't do that.
Blue Eye was terrible.
So, yeah. But there was something else here. Oh, yes. Savage Speeders doing so well for, I know it's Marble League, but it's still... They were doing so well, and then they get, I think it was 12th in 2021, but they didn't take the racers out. They didn't say, they didn't get the marble that did the worst that year, and was you're retiring. So I'm wondering what will happen if Red Eye does very badly, this, or Blue Eye. I'm wondering to see how the roster will change if CCE tries to switch it up again.
I'm hoping Blue Eye tanks so bad that they put Yellow Eye back in.
Yeah.
I'm
going to
hoping
be
Blue Eye
interesting.
just gets last every race because then it's a point proven here.
But it could just
I
be
would like to be
nerves or something.
surprised.
It could be nerves. First
Well, you know
race
what?
ever in the spotlight.
Yeah, that's true. There could be nerves. So, I mean, you got to give validation to that. But I guess Blue Eye didn't look out there like he had any potential. You know, I mean, just didn't look like a racer. I mean, Yellow Eye, minute one in the first season he was out there, you knew that Marble was skilled. You knew that even Speedy had a couple tough seasons in Marbula 1, yet, I mean, Speedy will never leave the team. You know? I mean, what are they going to do if Red Eye has a bad season? What if this season's a bad season for Red Eye and he gets like 20th? Oh, let's throw Green Eye in there.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
Green Eye and Blue Eye can be better. And then they get both last places. I mean, like, it's just not good. Not good. Not a good decision.
Yeah, I'm saying the roster, like, it could change. I wonder how to see if it will change if Red Eye just does badly this year.
I can't imagine they would do that. After,
Yeah.
it's their poster child.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd be pretty upset if Red Eye did bad. Anyway, Team Galactic, obviously Starry's going nowhere. Cosmo, I mean, this was one of those things where, again, I prefer 2 seasons, but 30 seconds really low. Cosmo went out there and showed he didn't have anything in them. And I think Quasar, I mean, it's kind of like, hey, Cosmo didn't work. Let's try Quasar. Might as well. That's fine with that. I'm not going to dwell too much on that. I'll also scroll through Team Primary. I mean, stop me if you have anything to say. Team Primary, I mean,
Arab is the best one they've had so far. So good on them for keeping Arab.
they're kind of
Arab
switching
care.
all over the place. Which means, wait, Mary was season 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so every marble has tried Team Primary besides the
Has a reserve tried?
No.
Or no, so Arab is the reserve, right?
No, who is the other one who hasn't tried then? Prim, Rima,
Prim, Mary,
Mary.
Imar, Arab,
Imar,
and then
Imar.
who's the last one?
Is there another?
well,
Imar hasn't gone? Okay.
Prim, yeah, Imar hasn't. Yeah, so Imar would be untried. But I mean, Arab seems like the better racer. I don't know. I think the Team Primary just sucks, man. I don't know what to tell you. I think they just kind of suck. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, Arab carried last year.
Yeah. So I mean, Arab plus a combination of whichever other primary you're feeling good about. Who knows? I mean, they say losing Prim makes me sad, but why? They got last place in the individual, which is hard to do. You have to really try to suck to get last in the individual because you usually have teams like the Jungle Jumpers in there. Like, they're squares. They're squares.
The decline gets worse, but it's slow, but it's there.
Yeah, the decline is bad. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to read all that text. Team Primary cares. Okay. Gliding Glaciers, they're switching a marble out like 1 season in. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's fine. Alpine got 30th. That's not a very good showing. I mean, they might as well try out new marbles while they can. Again, I'm an advocate for 2 seasons before a switch, but this early on, you might as well try to, and the coaches can see where the potential's at, so might as well try to move it quickly. Who knows? I would tend to be like, yeah, give them another shot, but not bad. Gliding Glaciers, they're not really a Marbula 1 team. They're actually a lot more of a Marble League team, and you see them do well. I really like watching them in Marble League. I think they do surprisingly well for a new team in some of those weird Marble League events, like funnels or balancing and stuff like that. So I'm excited for them, how they're going to perform in Marble League this year. I don't really care about them in Marbula 1, if I'm honest. Wuff? I can't hear you, bro.
Yeah.
You do that mic volume thing. It happens once an episode.
Right, yeah.
Every time.
I always forget. I always mute myself, or I turn it down.
The
when I'm trying
WAF
to type and
bingo,
stuff.
the MSW bingo. Whoever, if you guys are still doing that should be on the board.
Like I was saying, didn't the other member they did actually pretty well last season. So replace the weak link, see if they can to help their stronger member to actually really get a higher overall position. It makes sense, I'd say.
Yeah, I guess it's fine. I'm trying to get to the Savage Speeders, so let's move through here. Bumblebees, I mean, does anyone care? I mean, they're not a bad team though. One thing I will tell you is that I know that their numbers are bad for Marbula 1, but first of all, Stinger came out so well. Stinger was good in his past race, right? Where did they finish? At least in that qualifying
Oh, they were up and then they're down. Like, I don't think they had a good finish, but they had they were in third.
I
want
to see this.
Start.
No, I liked their potential.
13.
No, yeah, okay, they didn't finish that well. 13, so not very good actually. But like, I liked them in the qualifying round. The race in the qualifying round, the 3 laps in the qualifying round, those were good. I saw Stinger race, and I was like, okay, there's a possibility there. I mean, they were racing up against like Savage Speeders. I saw a couple nice passes. I mean, for a second, so I mean, I think there's potential. Stinger's the first time out there, but I think there's speed potential. So I'm excited for that. I think I'm open to that. So I'm okay with the switch. I think it doesn't really matter. They don't really know what they're doing. 33rd is bad. Swax is not very good. Bumble, I don't know. Who knows?
Personally, I like the fact, like, since they're a joint team now, I like that they now have one Hornet and one Bumblebee. I feel like that should be always the case. Since like this, like for like a dual event like this, where like they can only have 2, like represent that merger, like have that, like it's cool from a uniform standpoint, and like it shows equal representation for all of their team members to show that they view each other as a full team now. You know.
I agree. For good PR, they always got to do it. That's why they're going to probably overtrain Stinger and just forget about Swax. That's okay. I'm okay with that, though. I don't care. All right. Savage Speeders. Make a graph. How am I going to start by talking about this? Make a graph. It's a 3-point graph.
A graph of what?
Just bear with me, Wolf. Just 3 points. There's 3 points on the graph. On the bottom x-axis, right, is the season. Okay? And the top x-axis and the y-axis, okay, you got the placements. And if you plot those 3 points, rapidly goes right to the top of the freaking graph. Okay? 6th, 14, 36. Steady decline. I know that graph would show the positive direction, but you just orient the graph the other way or some shit. I don't know. But the point is that this is just steady. It's steadily bad.
Yeah.
And I think that rapidly brings down Speedy. Because Speedy didn't start doing kind of bad until season 3, and that was after Rapidly really started tanking. I think that there was an emotional thing there, because the declination for Speedy is not really that important, because the lowest he went was 12th. I'll replace him, right? Because we replaced Yellow Eye. But, sorry. But I think there's an effect that Rapidly's very, very bad racing has on Speedy. And I think getting Swifty in there, I mean, you just saw Speedy was bright this race. I mean, first race out, very good race. I think playing with Cloudy was hard. I think Cloudy is one of the most interesting kind of rookies out there right now. That was some great racing. If we had a snipping tool time, like, there was some amazing Cloudy movement in that first race to make some passes on Speedy, who's hard to pass. That was a wonderful first look at Cloudy. Right? But otherwise, no, that's what I'm saying, Yak. There's no data on Cloudy. The first race, though, had so much interesting things to notice. But you just saw Speedy was bright in that race. Right? Because finally a marble who doesn't belong was removed. The only reason that I would say Rapidly did well in Season 1 was because all the marbles were new to Marbula 1 and didn't even know how to approach it. Right? And so everyone was kind of scrambling, and Rapidly has a lot of raw skill that he should put into Marble League because that's where he's good.
Yeah.
So just train that. Then you Rapidly destroys individually in Marble League. There is no other marble, I think, better than Rapidly overall this time in Marble League than Rapidly. So I just, put him there. And you guys know the argument. Let's see what this guy says. Let's see what this article guy says, and then I'm going to turn to you guys. You know I just want to yell about this, though. Season 3 was pretty poor year for the Savage Speeders. 12th place. Well, okay, I'm still sad that it comes to the cost of my purposeful... Well, shut up. Just watch him in Marble League! Okay, fine. Speedy's excellence in M1 is established. Rapidly's ups and downs. How about downs? Make the graph. Season 2 finale. Don't talk to me about Season 2's finale. That's a whole season where I believe
we're in the now.
If I'm right, the first 4 races of Season 2 were straight zeros for Rapidly. I'll never forget it. First 4 races, 0 points for Rapidly. Don't even talk to me about the finale of season 2. What was this guy's name? Lunar Nacho? I forget. Like, don't even mention it.
Lunar's not the only one, though. A lot of people bring up, like, oh, that gold podium in the end. It's like, yeah, that's great. But, like, the rest of the season? Hello?
4 zeros in a row is intolerable. I don't even care. I know.
Really?
For Yellow Eye was different. That's kind of 2 zeros, and he had some like 20 and 18. Like, that's different. This is 4 in a row zeros. I mean, enough. Salvaging a season. A fan of compelling storylines that Rapidly provides. What's compelling about I Suck as compared to Speedy? Whatever. Still giving Rapidly. Okay, he at least understands the need to replace him going into season 3. Swifty comes in. I don't know how Swifty's going to be, but I'm telling you, it's hard to do worse than 36th place and 4 zeros in a row. Because that's 2 seasons that are really bad. Like, even though he got 14th in season 2, like, Swifty, all he has to do to prove that he's a better racer than Rapidly, because the bar is so low, is either not get 36th, like do better than 36th place, and not get 4 zeros in a row. That's it. That's all he has to do. And he's a better racer all around than Rapidly out on the track. I don't know. I mean,
he got silver. He just got silver, too.
Who? Sorry?
Speedy. Are we still talking about Speedy?
No, I'm talking about Swifty. To prove he's better than Rapidly.
Yeah, Swifty. Yeah, Swifty. I mean, yeah, he just got a... Or was that not Swifty?
No, Speedy raced the first race, and he looked great. He looked like an absolute dog out there.
Champion.
Yeah, still in silver.
I'm excited to see how Swifty races next time. I'm actually excited for next week for just to see how Swifty races. I think it's going to be exciting because it's also a lot of what I say hangs on that. You know, if Swifty comes out and just gets last place, then I'm in big trouble. But I mean, I think this is clear. I mean, Waff, Jack. I mean, I'm assuming you guys agree he needed to be replaced.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I'll agree. Yak's bringing up season 2, but like, we're at season 3. There was the trend there. It was fine in season 2. Rapidly was up in the air in season 2. Season 3 is when we were like, yeah.
Yeah, the reason I didn't like Rapid, because remember, this was season 2, I was saying remove him too.
Oh, you actually said, I thought you were on the fence. At least I was on the fence.
No,
but
I was not
sure.
in season 2. This is the reason. 4 zeros. Right? The points numbers, I agree, on paper look very similarly. So if you're going to leave Yellow Eye in, leave Rapidly in. But the 4 zeros to me are a lot different. Because that's 4 times in a row that Rapidly came up empty. At least Yellow Eye had a couple zeros sprinkled in, and then had some okay races, and then it's like, okay, there was some bad and some good. But I think the 2 podiums in a row, I mean, you can't ignore 4 zeros. And again, you're looking at a situation where you have a lot better understanding. Remember when I'm talking, though. I'm talking in season 2, Yak. So I'm talking before we really have a better understanding of the Crazy Cat's Eyes and the kind of abilities they have, because that was their first season. So, like, I mean, for their sake, I don't really have anything to say. It's more like we had a good understanding of Rapidly and their team. We had a good understanding of the Savage Beaters and what they're bringing to the table. Okay? And so, like, I feel like it was a little more validated to switch them out after season 2 than to switch, like, Yellow Eye, who proved that they were good. I think that I, at the very least, could concede that I was too quick in season 2 to say that. And season 3 kind of proved it. So I would concede that a little bit.
Okay.
That season 3 confirmed what I already felt like was going to happen, and it did happen exactly as I said it was going to happen. But before season 3, I couldn't necessarily say he should have been switched out if I want to be consistent with what I said about Yellow Eye. But 4 zeros in a row makes me scared, and I think it should make a coach.
Didn't one of those zeros
scared.
happen because of like them falling into the conveyor belt, which was beyond their
That was
control?
actually Speedy that season.
Oh, it was Speedy.
So he just 4 times was garbage.
Oof.
All right.
Boy.
Moving on.
Yes.
Mocha and Chalk. Chalk replaced Bon Bon. I'm not going to dwell there. The Chocolatiers are terrible.
Those mediocre, yeah.
Yeah, they're terrible. I don't
Both
care.
of them.
Pinky, same thing.
But they have new management,
Yeah,
so like actually, did that new racer? Who was replaced?
No, Pinky Panther
They got
raced
a
the first
technical
one.
director, didn't they?
Oh, the technical director was changed, yes, but in like what for the racers, who was changed?
I'll check.
No, Pinky Winky
No
replaced Pinky Toe, but Pinky Panther raced the first race. Like that's
Okay.
But I think
Yeah.
the coaching must have just changed because they won Marble League. What?
Yeah, the technical director changed. Not the coach, the technical director. But that's
I don't know what
that's been the
changed in that
change,
team.
and ever since then they've been doing pretty
What
good.
is a
I don't
technical
understand.
director?
I think they're the person who deals with like they help the coach with like developing strategies. I
Huh.
believe. I'm not a big sports guy.
Oh, the facilitates technology transfer during the project? That's what Google says.
That's weird.
That might be for a specific sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have much information
Yeah.
on that. That's kind of like a we need stint kind of moment. So I don't really care much about Pinkies. They're bad, so whatever. Well, bad in Marbula 1. Brand new
And why
rosters.
did Pinky Toe? Why did Pinky Toe get? Yak brings a good point.
Yeah,
Why
I
did
figured
Pinky
he was
Toe
gonna
get
say that.
swapped when they had more points than Panther?
I don't
Like
know.
6 more points.
I mean, I think this is like Lord of the Flies type of conversation. To be 35th and 31st. Oh, I wonder who's worse. Whatever. I mean, it's a different type of argument. It might even be just preference of the player. I mean, at that point, you really kind of come if
Or
you're the
or
Pinkies
ML preference.
and you have
ML
two
preference,
garbage
probably.
players.
Mhm.
You kind of just go to them and be like, "Hey, do you guys want to keep doing this or not?" And I'm sure Pinky Toe is like, "I'm fine. Go on vacation. I make enough from Marble League." That's how I see it. Yeah.
It says on the wiki, is Pinky Toe with the Pinkies was replaced due to Pinky Toe's poor performance in the previous season, but
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean,
that a
That applies to
mistake?
Pinky
PR,
Panther
that's
too.
PR.
yeah, that's gotta be a...
I don't know. Brand new rosters. This is the last interesting one, and then we don't really. There's not really. I don't have anything to say about the Raspberry Racers. The new teams. I just to briefly touch on them and say something if you guys have anything. I'm happy for them. I like Team Plasma and Blackjacks and Wolfpack, but we don't know anything about them, so we just have to let them cook. We got to let them cook. All right, and we got to co-parter if they suck. So, I mean, if you guys have anything you want to say that you have any predictions you have based on their performance. I mean, Hart wasn't very good race 1. It looks like Fenrir wasn't very good either. 19th. Tough. Firo, not bad. But again, Team Plasma's kind of a weird situation. You don't really know what to expect. You got to wait. So
I will say, Pippin brought up a good point, and I've heard their discussions on the other podcasts. Pippin brought up a good point, The Indigo Stars have not been in M1 either, yet they were denied the position in M1 by the Blackjacks who did worse than them in the Showdown?
Yeah, but they don't correlate, do they?
It's just like why would you give the Blackjacks the chance to be here over the Indigo Stars?
Because no one cares about
Or
the
sorry,
Indigo Stars.
Wolfpack, not Blackjacks. My bad. Wolfpack. It was one of them. I couldn't remember.
No, but then that makes
Blackjack,
sense then, because Wolfpack is a new and upcoming team. Everyone likes that. Everyone likes that new
Sure, but
idea, the novel idea.
we haven't had it's people wanted a purple team. It's a purple team. Get a purple team into the
Indigo's
league.
not even purple.
I
Indigo's
also get
blue.
trying to highlight a new team. I do, and I like the Wolfpack because
Indigo.
my name.
Indigo is
but,
blue, not
the-
purple.
It's purple enough that some people are satisfied with it. Kinda, not really, but to some degree, some people are.
Indigo.
But,
Listen, here's-
Indigo Stars, it's I can understand the thought process of giving a new team a highlight to try and hype them up. But at the same time, it's like the Indigo Stars have been around for a while, but they're also been unknown, so they have a small, dedicated fan base. Why not give them their chance in the sun?
because they don't matter. I think remember, Marbula 1 is invitation based. So you don't have to pick anyone based on data. You can just pick them an invitation. The invitation-based aspect of Marbula 1 means that they're going to pick 16 teams that they feel are most desired. Wolfpack is more desired than Indigo Stars right now. Why? Because they're a really cool new team. And they have the most chance to make for a wilder Marbula 1 because we have no idea how they're going to do. Blackjacks, everyone loves the casino vibe. They're in. Team Plasma, there's a lot of old Team Plasma people coming out of the woodwork.
Fair.
And Team Plasma did very good in
I can concede.
Showdown. So all good choices. Indigo Stars, they've never done well, really, and no one really likes them. Like, there's a few people.
Raspberry Racers suck at M1, though.
Right, but they're the Raspberry Racers. People like them, and they do good in Marbula 1, so people watch them. I mean, Marbula League, sorry.
Wait,
so
no,
watch them
I was
in
like,
Marbula League.
Bren, what the heck?
You know what I'm saying? So, like, people like them. People watch them. People root for them because of Marbula League. So throw them in Marbula 1 because they're going to get some attention. Throw the 3 new teams or the 3 new returning teams that people haven't seen in forever that people like their vibe in Marbula 1 because people care, right? I mean, those make sense. Obviously, the other teams are obvious invites. You're not going to leave out the Crazy Cat's Eye, Savage Speed, blah, 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 because everyone likes them. So you're gonna create a likable pack. I can't think of a team in this grouping that I don't like, or that I don't know if someone like. There's someone else who does like them. There's either really new teams which are fun. There's a lot of new teams that are fun here. Glaciers are still like a new team. Right? They've only been in one season. Cobalts have been around a while, actually. They always feel new, though. Shining Swarm are kind of coming back into the whole deal. They kind of were out for a couple of years. Now they're kind of back in, so people want to see them and how they're going to do. Obviously, we have the old veterans, which are sticking in there. The only one that is not in here that I'm surprised to not see is Mellow Yellow, but then again, they're not a very good team in Marbula 1. So, you get what I'm saying? It's popularity. Invitation-based means you can choose whoever you want.
Yeah, I get that. I just feel for the Indigo Stars fans, like, because they've waited patiently, and they don't get many times to show up, you know.
Well, I feel nothing for the Indigo Stars, so yeah. I guess
okay.
That's on me.
All right. I guess we're moving on then.
Okay.
I haven't forgotten since 2019. I haven't forgotten.
Yeah. Ooh. But anyway, so that leaves our last team to change. Time-wise, it looks like we're not covering Race 1 till next week along with Race 2, which makes sense, but these roster changes were important. Things kind of crept up on us too quickly with Marbula 1 because of life and finals and everything, so we kind of got delayed. So what can we do? But we're going to cover both races next week, and we'll cover Race 2 first. Whatever.
Wait, 2 first?
Yeah, like probably because it's fresh, but
I
mean,
guess.
These roster changes took a while. And
you've mentioned the race in passing. We just haven't gone in depth with it.
Jack, what do you think about this one brand new roster of the Hazers? Okay, you have Smoggy and Hazy cut out, and you put in Cloudy, you put in Misty. What's going on here?
So hang on, let me pull them up on the. Dang, are they under the Savage Speeders or the Pinkies? I found them. Yes. So interesting. It's interesting. I like what they could do here. A whole sweep of their entire roster. I mean, Hazy, I think Hazy had to go with 39.
Yeah.
Maybe one more year. Maybe it was just a bad year. Smoggy, I don't know why Smoggy had to go, though. Smoggy had a 10th, 13th, 3rd. That's solid for three seasons. That's solid. But I'm excited to see what Cloudy and Misty did. Cloudy did really well this first race. So I think that's going to be
yeah, I like
pretty
Cloudy.
good.
Cloudy was excellent.
Mm-hmm. Misty, I don't know too much about Misty. In Marbula 1, of course. But I really don't know much about Misty in general. But Cloudy, I think Cloudy's going to do very well. I think the Hazers have a pretty rare opportunity here. They could, depending on how they train, depending on how they get the things together, they could really, with this entirely new roster wipe, I mean to say, for the new season, they could put something really impressive together here.
Yeah,
But why Smoggy? Why the Yak brings a good point. Like, Smoggy had 53 points, a gold medal, and 10th overall last year.
But let's work with the information we have. What information we have sitting here now, right? We know we have different information now than when this post was written, and that is we have race 1 of season 4, and we saw really good racing from Cloudy.
But you could have used that marble to replace Hazy.
But wait,
but then left Smoggy in.
We saw. I don't even want to say really good. I want to say like top tier racing from this marble.
Sure,
okay?
Absolutely.
Like
I think it's a good.
Like, this was unusually good racing from this marble. Who
it's a goal.
Really had to work their way back up the pack to get to first place. They were like mid pack to start and had to really work their way up. They had to weave around Momo, Green Ducks, O-Rangers, and Savage Speeders, who were for once dominating that top 5 spot. I mean, this is some hard racing for this team on a track that doesn't have a lot of gimmicks. This is not a gimmicky track. This is not a track where you can kind of make up time because someone gets stuck on the Stardust accelerator or whatever. And it's not a track where you can kind of, weave through the sand because and make some moves happen. No, this is straight racing. And Cloudy did like what I would say would be on par with Speedy level racing, maybe even Red Eye. With the way
this is their first race, Brendan. Let's hold on.
No,
here.
but look at the potential. This is not
potential,
usual for a
it's
first
true.
race for a marble to be able to move their way through the pack against marbles who have raced longer than this guy's probably been alive. Sorry, I don't know how marble age works, but this was really, really. I mean, look at this move here. The videos speak to me when they want to.
It is amazing.
Look
I won't
this.
deny
Just
that.
look at this if you're on the Chrome. Look at this. So this is Smoggy stuck in pack. I mean, Cloudy stuck in pack. I mean, moves inside there, cuts off a whole 3-pack of marbles. I mean that's good racing. I mean,
Yes,
that's not a move that a
phenomenal.
rookie marble sees first time most often. And then this is against 3 marbles who are excellent. This is Mallard, Momo, and Orangin. I mean, these are big deals in racing. And this kind of like slalom maneuver and to get around Rangers using the side to bump off like that, I mean, that's very smart. I mean, and it wasn't even an accident because he then continues to hold that station for the duration of race and then overtakes Speedy, who at this point is so far in front. Look at all the different distance on the elevator there. I mean, that's 8 or 9 spots. So I don't know. I think that we're seeing incredible potential, and what I say that all to say that maybe this is one of those situations where the coach of the Hazers knows more than we do.
Okay, Brendan, Cloudy, that makes sense, but why then replace Smoggy on top of that?
Because maybe Misty also had maybe observable off season. The coach has seen Cloudy and Misty and trained that they would have the potential, and even to Smoggy, it seemed like a good switch. And so maybe the coach knows a lot more. And so on the off season and in behind the closed doors, these are 2 marbles who have just been preparing and who are super ready. And even Smoggy's numbers don't look good.
I guess we will see when it happens, but I'm getting the feeling that what's going to happen is Misty's going to underperform.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see. If Misty is bad, then we can talk about Smoggy again. But it's like, wow, Cloudy was crazy, and so maybe there's something we don't know about the new team.
Maybe, I'm willing to give him a chance. Obviously, it's just that from you're the logic we've been discussing here. Why replace a marble if they're not bad? That's a risk.
Yeah.
It's a big risk.
I don't know. But
It's
I
a
mean, we
mystery.
also replaced Yellow Eye too, so I don't know. You tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes coaches aren't they see things differently. But that all said, I think that's going to wrap it unless you guys have another comment. And again, next week we'll read a dude's email. We'll read all y'all emails that you write in, and we'll cover. We'll have less to cover. We only have the races to cover instead of all the roster changes. So we'll kind of dive all into that and get that all done. So, any last
I guess
words?
I can go over my fantasy picks to show what I've been thinking, so we can then discuss how it turned out next week.
Sure.
I suppose. First of all, there we go. My screen was very big for a bit there. But anyways, so for the overall, I was looking primarily what season 3 was like, and I saw the trend of the Cobalts actually both of them doing really well, especially Royal. So I actually put Cobalts as my ×3 pick. Then I put Savage Speeders for my ×2 for 2 reasons. 1, Rapidly was replaced, and 2, the Crazy Cat's Eyes putting Blue Eye in. I knew that, that's why I picked them over the Crazy Cat's Eyes for my ×2. Crazy Cat's Eyes is now my ×1 because Red Eye is still there, so you're gonna get points. But with Blue Eye, you're probably not going to get nearly as many as you did in the past. And judging by the first race, probably pretty good. I then put Momo, of course, because I got to represent Momo. I wasn't still very keen on them winning this year, but maybe I'll be wrong, and I'll be very happy to be wrong in this instance. And then for my dark horse pick, I picked the Wolfpack, of course, which hasn't started out very good, but you know. And then for the individual marble picks, Yak is doing a special trivia league where you have 1 times 3, 2 times 2s, and 4 times 1s.
6 regular, it says.
Yep. So for my times 3 pick, I picked Red Eye. Of course, that's a super easy, very basic pick, but come on, it's Red Eye. For times 2, I picked, I believe it was Royal and Rapidly. Sorry, Speedy. Jeez Louise. No, Speedy and Royal. And then for my times 1 picks, I picked Mimo, Momo, Orangen, Clementon, because the Rangers did really good last season. Well, but I don't think they're going to repeat. And then for my dark horse picks, I picked Fiero for some reason. I think it's out of random, and then Fenrir so
Fair.
2 dark horses in there. Again, Fenrir looking like a bad choice so far, but everything else it's been pretty good.
Okay. Things off. Actually, I'll choose my individuals too. I'll let Jack help me. I'll let Jack be a part of this. So Jack, I'll let you choose a couple of them. I'm gonna obviously choose Red Eye and I would have anyway. Yak chose Red Eye for my times 1 Shrey. I mean, that's just obvious. I mean numbers don't let you do anything else, basically.
Seriously.
But I'll let Jack choose 1 of my times 2s and then 3 of my times 1s. So
put that pressure on me.
No, yeah. What do you? This is for the marble guy, the Brendan team. So you better do good here. Pick a strong times 2. My first times 2, obviously, so I'm going to make it harder for you. I'm obviously going to pick Speedy for my first times 2, and I would have anyway, Yak. So talk to me about my other times 2, Jack. Then we'll wrap here. I'm glad we remembered to do this.
Oh, gosh. Okay. I didn't put Cloudy on mine. But after today, I don't know, that doesn't seem fair like used today.
See, would I have picked Cloudy without seeing this first race? No, exactly. And so I can't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you want a solid racer, maybe even one of the Rangers, maybe
Okay, that's fair.
Clementon,
that would have been fair.
Maybe?
So you think Clementon? So that's what you locked it in. Maybe aside, you locked in Clementon. Good job. All right.
Oh, gosh.
I don't think it's a bad pick. I'm okay with it, and I would have picked it no matter what. Okay, for my 3, so I'm going to pick my 3 first, and you can pick the other 3 for the 6 regular. I'd have to go... I wouldn't have picked Blue Eye. I would never have picked Blue Eye. I would have been just mad, so I'm not going to pick him. I definitely would have thrown Mallard in there. That's an easy one. I think Orangin is a strong times 1. I think I would have... In hopes that the new change was good, I would have definitely picked Swifty. So those are my 3 times 1s. You pick the other 3 times 1s.
Okay. Let me take a look over some of these.
Sorry, Jack, just to cut in. Edu, the reason I'm pushing your email the next week is that your email makes a lot more sense with next week's topic than with this week's, because we're actually going to discuss the races next week. So, I mean, it just makes sense. It's like the information makes sense together. Anyway, go ahead.
So, this is going to sound really weird, but I think Starry. I'm thinking Starry. I don't know why. I have a feeling.
Oh, let's throw Starry in there.
That I should not do that for mine. For someone else's. I don't know why. I feel like they are going to do well for this one. I'm losing all of these things that I think I should put here. I would have put Cloudy on my times.
I think I got to stay away from Cloudy because I watched it, so I forfeit that by watching it.
Mm-hmm. How did the Balls of Chaos do? No, not the Balls of Chaos. I put maybe Bolt on.
Okay, I'll do
That's a
Bolt.
solid pick.
I wouldn't have picked Bolt, but I'm gonna do it.
And I don't know for the last one. I really don't.
You got to say something. Look at all these teams. You see it on the stream.
Dark horse pick.
So many teams.
Mary.
No, it's a no.
Okay, I'm going to do Pinky Panther.
Pinky Panther. Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
I am gonna click it. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
I am.
Would you like to enter a duel with anyone?
Me. Do a duel with me.
Waff.
I've just given Brendan the worst picks ever, and they're gonna turn into the best.
Additional
end of
duels?
the
I mean, Pinky
season,
Panther
it's
did
going
good
to
this
be-
race.
Yeah.
Jack, your mom, Stint if he entered, Term if he entered, Edu if he entered, yeah. Who else do I want to bother? S-Man if he entered, Kaysen if he entered. That's good enough. Your problem, Super Yak. You offered that. Okay. That's gonna wrap it. This is a very, very long.
A group of MSW people.
Yeah, that's good. This is a very long episode, but that's because I think the roster changes were very important. I wish time would have allowed us to do it before this race, but obviously it didn't. And I think going through them and understanding them were important. Thank you, Jack, for coming on and picking half of my individual fantasy team. Yak, how many people are in this, by the way? Sorry.
So like maybe
How many
about
people are in
2
this
dozen.
fantasy? Exciting. So a lot of MSW fun. MSW. I wish I had. Can you send a link to Nordics? I might just throw a thing in there, just for this to see how they do, and then probably
If they'll
win.
let you do
but
it,
not
I
be able
think
to win the
it's
first round.
closed.
Anyway, Jack, thanks for coming on, man. It's been a pleasure. You had some good stuff to say. It was fun.
Thanks for having me. It's really an honor to be here. So
Yeah, it was great.
Dude, it's great. You can always email in. We'll always sing your praises. Well, take us out
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
want to, and we'll see you next time.
All right, sounds good. Sorry for not getting to the race this week, everybody, but we will definitely cover it next week. So tune in then. Roll on, Marble sports fans.